It's Sunday, July 18th, 2021. I'm watching part of that movie Stealth, and I'm thinking to myself, from a eukaryotic and a prokaryotic, cellular, whatever, I'm then thinking of how to put it into subsonic, supersonic, and hypersonic vertices, I suppose, or vortex. Because in visualization, in metaphysics, my current world looks like a degrading prokaryotic situation. However, there's a eukaryotic substrate or subsonic metaphysical presence that is currently what we thought was under control and command prior. It was actually under attack prior to my appearance in this simulation, but it is degrading even further. On my device, being just a plain camera with some form of logical phonography to give the appearance of connection to outside sorcery, but it never seems to work within a human prokaryotic situation. I mean, it looks sloppy. It looks prokaryotic. It does not look like it is a eukaryotic, like, transcript whatsoever. It looks very amateur, very novice. It looks very interfered with. I said to Linda today, they went out to Northport. Some Joe and Marianne and some friend Alice and Mike, not the two problem people from across the street, but different set, same name. So I said to Linda before, I cornered her in her bedroom and I said, Lynn, I said, listen to me. There's some things you need to know. I said that I'm not telling the Italian. I was like, because you're technically all American. I was like, so here's what you need to know that I've been finding out in order to protect yourself against the Italian. I was like, you, when Jason and I were together, I don't know if there's things that you remember or not. I mean, like, I know she's in one prokaryotic state, I'm in another prokaryotic state. In eukaryotic substrate, they can quantifiably overlap our prokaryotic systems and monitor it in a eukaryotic metaphysical whatever. So I understand that. And then we've got, I'm an I spine, she's an I spine, and then we've got C spine territory. I get that. So now, but she's not at that level. I get that also. So she's got, I'm like, Lynn, listen, I was like, on very basic level, when Jason was having trouble, he worked as an audio podcast recording guy for Lou in the city at WCN. I was like, and then he lost or was having trouble losing, he was going to lose that job. I was like, and remember, I paid or he paid or whatever paid for him to go to something called DeVry, Devry. Because at the time, he didn't know what to do with himself. He was a total loser. But I had Benjamin, and I was in such a state of total disgust at waking up every day and looking at this man after he fucking raped me. And then I had his child, and it's just like, I really fucking want to end humans now. Like, why do we have to go through this whole dress rehearsal? But anyway, so I'm like, Lynn, do you remember sending, I sent, or Jay sent himself to some possibility of whatever the new career was at that time in like 2000, 99, 98, 99, 2000? She's like, no. And I was like, okay, remember he went for web design, Lynn? And she's like, oh yeah. I was like, okay, here's the really important stuff. He went to DeVry Institute. In DeVry, at the end of the web design, which I didn't even know what that was, they gave him a machine computer. It was an IBM ThinkPad, Linda. Remember, IBM. It's a really important fact for you to protect yourself. IBM ThinkPad. She's like, okay. I said, they supplied him with this IBM ThinkPad. They taught him some kind of web design or web development of some kind. I don't know what, I wasn't there. I was like, and then when he graduated, he had to build a shopping cart, Linda, on the internet. So what I was told was it is some kind of something, like we use shopping carts in when we go to the store and you put things in it. He said it's that, but it's a design for the back end of a website, so this way people can buy things without having to go to the store. And I'm like, okay. I mean, like, what is that even like? I mean, this is all I knew. That's all you know. Now, here's where it ties in, Lynn. I was like, there's a guy named Sanjay, Sanjay, really dark skin, not like the color of Lord. That guy Lou hangs out with. I was like, I call him, well, whatever, I didn't get into that with Linda, but I call him Venezuelan, but whatever, Madagascar. I really don't give a shit. I got my MI file locked down tighter than a fucking baby's, duck's ass. All right, so now here we are I'm like, Lynn, it's Sanjay and Chow. Somehow they opened a rogue intelligence agency without informing anyone on Long Island. What I can gather from my minimal experience on the internet, taking photos and then putting it on the FB, being Facebook, just to cover my reference manual ass of what I was exposed to out here in this situation, I was like, it says that they raised the funds off of debt, DEBT. Now, I know in Malaysian's colostomy bag, it gets confusing with this United States colostomy bag of what's a debt, how is it earned, who owes, what's the repercussions from it, because they're trying to build theoretical, hypothetical, and reality into tying into all the actions that they're taking after the initial break. I was like, so now here's the thing, Lynn. I was like, here's the facts. DeVry Institute, IBM ThinkPad, Jason Peter Romer 1976 was involved. He built some kind of shopping cart. I thought it was web design. Turns out it was more of like web development and some form of an IT engineered something that he put out into universal code that the people there taught him. Turns out, I find out later, dark-skinned Sanjay color are now graduating with a black and gold robe. Almost looks magistrate, but they're not allowed up to that category. With a hot pink scarf. They're not allowed my color insignia anywhere in the world. Not black and gold, because that's PhD level. And they're definitely not allowed to wear the pink scarf insignia in order to learn and develop the technology that's currently has me in the design phase of a bird cage inside of a nuclear reactor, which is what the Earth actually is. And right now, the nuclear reactor, the mechanics of it, is being torn offline through torsion, manipulation, and high sciences that they're not allowed to be taught. That's Colgate. That's where I come from. They're doing college and institute things here to institute these new practices, and then they open up these illegal operations like computer associates. That's where Maria Mirza works. They've got an in-house gym. They fly them all over the world. They're signing people up and selling contracts. I have no idea what kind of contracts. Are those to build more bird cages from her disgusting caramel colored something straight here from Long Island mixed in with like the kiddos that are my color but with the eye deficiency thing or like the extra flap to hold their eyeballs back? I'm just curious. Because those are the kids that wound up here. Does anybody else in the rest of the world know that this is going on? Like, does anybody fucking care? Here's your tie-in, all your dumb fucking and useless. See these wood floors? They're small strips of wood. They have them on basketball courts. Then they put a lacquer. Listen, ready? Do you hear my bones cracking? The wood floor is cracking. I'm on the second. You have ground level and one floor up. That's where I am. That's what it looks like out the window. I'm on the second floor and the wood is moving in such a manner. Why is the environment I'm living in so unstable that the lacquered wood floors are not holding flat and tight? They're moving in some kind of wave format. Second to that, my anatomy, the joints at the hinge, it hurts to actually do this because underneath here and up top here, I have what's called irreparable damage, which means that my bones literally crack because there's so much wave function. And in metaphysics, because of the way time and space is separated at the moment, they are working diligently, but not diligently enough as far as I'm concerned, to seal back my 3-layer. So when I walk, I'm in a stabilized environment. At the moment, I feel like a kernel of corn that has been left in the microwave or on a heat source that popped. And now I look like an open popcorn, Popcorn, and I need to get back into the shell, Shell. These are real things, but I don't understand how to let the all area dumb fucking and useless know just how dangerous you've all grown yourselves. In the last 4 decades, I mean, it's more than 4 decades, but in the last 4 decades, holy fuck. With nobody policing you shits and with keeping me out in the open, I'm in a nuclear reactor that is starting to heat up so horrifically that it is so dangerous that the living creatures in the local area don't even realize they're in a hot, gaseous air fryer, pretty much, because I can fry an egg on the sidewalk. So you are in a hot, microwave, gaseous fryer, and you think that it's okay to go on vacations and play around with other people's lives and make... It's almost like playing the lottery with one another's health, safety, and welfare based on the little amount of knowledge that the fucking dumb fucking and useless has been given. I mean, like, they're taking these guesses for future whatever almost like a game. And now we're at like really serious, dangerous level. Like really, I can see in my own face, my own skin, the fact that I am so bloated in Omicron and nanotech of extra coating on the surface, so this way they can expand and time dilate the 3 separated layers that they're fucking around with. Listen to my knees. No, of course it's not going to do it. It is so hard to even walk. My shoulders crack. I mean, I have an eye spine. I know that I am more in tune with all 3 layers, and I interact differently at a different program level. I get that. But I am not a damage coordinator. Like, I am not meant to take on people guessing and learning so they can have gateway and entryway. I was already born in the gateway. I'm an I-spine. I am not C-spine. It's a different Lourdes program. I belong on a deep sea, like a deep oceanic rig at this point. Far, far away from human eukaryotes and prokaryotes. Because they haven't even earned the title of city, according to Hungary, Budapest, and anything Slovenian. They have not fortified New York City. There's 5 boroughs. There's Queens County, Kings County, there's Staten Island, there's Manhattan. Long Island is attached to Queens. Like, it's one long landmass. Same with Kings County. Then you have a separated Staten Island, separated Bronx, separated Manhattan. And then you have a separated route to New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, and upstate New York. So now, in just my island, where it's one connected archipelago landmass, there's 5 counties within that, which I know confuses everything I need. But here's the thing. It's quick state executions. I don't need anything with color, touching a computer, building anything. It is fucking with my ability to process, to give correct, like, command to base information. And I have a substrate that is ripping metaphysically and I'm trying to learn at this point new vocabulary in order to communicate better in an English platform with my Prince Charming elsewhere. Do you know that in 1986, when Gorbachev and Reagan were doing their Ukraine dance of some sort, Nicklaus was already taken out of school and put somewhere in shipping and containment. One of the last UFO conversations that he and I had together, in extension and then later in trial format of persecution of humans, was the fact that I was his only relative and family member in the local area, being Lloyd Harbor and Cold Spring Harbor at the time. And that there was no way physically or metaphysically for me to get to where I need to be for safety and for the rest of whatever goes on, unless he took me there by hand or by whatever method that they use to transport him. So what the fuck happened, humans? I'm just curious. Star 1978, Star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza. It's July 18th. It's a Sunday. It's Century 20, year 21, and I'm the Century 19, year 78, with a reaperture from a Century 16 unbeknownst year. Non-essential equipment doesn't need that deep. But do you hear my bones are cracking as I'm standing here. I stand long enough, the plasma inside the joint settles. I go to move, and sometimes it pops, and sometimes it's a full crack, an irreparable arithmetic at aerodynamics. And then it, between the 3 layers of nanoprocessing metric timing, it then, like, it ends on the bone being in solid, where the first density was not, and it goes from broken bone into a solid state bone. So this way I'm walking on solid bones, but my bone's already cracked and broke in the first timing piece because everything is so far off. But they can't just have my whole leg paranormally cracking in half, because that might set off alarms as to what they're actually doing in really dangerous fucking science places. While you all sit around going, I don't really get why all of our blood's the same. No, it's fucking not. And in bioluminescence, it's not all indigo either. Just so we're clear, not where I come from.